Hello and welcome to Vrzal Chiropractic. At Vrzal Chiropractic for Health, we use an approach called applied kinesiology, or kinesiology, which treats structural, neuro-emotional, and nutritional factors for things like performance or pain reduction, digestive and immune health, hormonal health, and even natural disease care. Yes, there's natural ways to treat cancers and MS and autoimmune problems that often respond very beautifully to care. In this site, we're going to go ahead and cover a little bit about these modalities, and we're going to talk about how we can help you and how you can really benefit from what it is that we have to offer at Vrzal Chiropractic.
My name is Pam Watson. I found out about Dr. V in 2002. It took me 2 years to get here, but in 1995 I was given a medication, prednisone, that I was very allergic to, and I basically lost my life. I couldn't dress myself, feed myself, take care of myself at all. I got what they call steroid psychosis, which means you cannot function. So I ended up going from doctor to doctor, psychiatrist to psychiatrist, because they do convince you that you're crazy. And then in 2004, I got to Dr. V, and he gave me my life back. It took a little while, but being very dedicated to the program, doing the things that he suggested and letting him take care of me, I was able to start functioning again, working again, and I couldn't feed myself. I started, of course, eating the eat right for your blood type, so that you eat the good things and not the bad things. And it was a complete transformation. He has given me my life back and helped many other people in my family, friends, everyone that makes a commitment to come and do the things that we need to do. You can have a healthy, wonderful, balanced life.
Hello, I'm Dr. Scott Vrzal. I've been practicing applied kinesiology since the early 90s. Been trained in it very extensively and helped teach it for a good 10 years. My journey actually started in 1979 when I was diagnosed hypoglycemic and realized that sugar really made me feel lousy. So I quit eating sugar in 1979 and really realized how much better I could feel, and I did feel. And then shortly thereafter I started having pounding, voracious headaches in the whole head that would just really compromise my ability to function or exist. I was competing in natural bodybuilding at the time, and so anytime I do bench press, my head would start hurting. And so I tried taking aspirin, Advil, all the anti-inflammatories, and tried taking some time off. They weren't going away, and so the medical profession said, you need to come in, you might have an aneurysm, red flag, we need to do a CAT scan on you. So they did a CAT scan with dyes and said, well, you don't have an aneurysm, you need to go see a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And at that point I realized that's probably not the answer. And praise God, I was put in the path of a chiropractor at the time. He adjusted me, and within minutes my head just felt clear. I remember driving home from there in my little VW Bug, just realizing that I just felt like the whole world had come off of my shoulders and tons of tension had gone away from that minute on. And so that really began my journey looking into chiropractic, and then with my interest in nutrition, I realized that this was a perfect venue to share and help others enjoy a much better quality of life. So the body tells a story. Every gland and organ has associated muscles and reflex points that tell us where it's breaking down. So when we go to some of these reflex points, like Christina's pancreas here, we see that there's some blood sugar issues. Or if we touch over the reflex for her ovary, we have some weakness there as well. So we can look at then where the tenderness would be up in the upper shoulder when her body's dysfunction, when her blood sugar is out of whack. Or she'll have tenderness in this glute medius muscle in here when the hormones are not functioning quite right. That'll also show up as a weakness. Put this arm down for me, hold this in by your side. This one locks in good and clean. The left side, hold this and try to hold this in tight, is not locking in so good. That muscle is weak because of some blood sugar issues that she's dealing with today. The same thing will be true for her hormonally. Push straight out toward the right with your right leg. Push that locks in strong like it should. Push out toward the left, and that one does not. So this left glute medius muscle is weak because of the hormonal imbalances that she's dealing with. possibly even triggered by blood sugar. So when we find these areas of weakness like this and tenderness, then we can use those to really figure out where the body needs help. So we talked about the structural, the chemical, the emotional, and the nutritional components earlier. We would use that same paradigm here. We now know that she's got a blood sugar issue and a hormonal issue. We would look at, is this because of something she ate causing her blood sugar to go off? Or is it because she needs a chromium or a homeopathic or a genema or an herb or vitamin to help her blood sugar stabilize? Or is it because of a structural trauma? Maybe she just had a physical trauma that affected the way her body's ability to stabilize blood sugar. Or it could be some emotional trauma that she had in recent times, or even from childhood that has returned. And the beautiful thing is, there's ways of figuring that out succinctly, fast and effectively, that we can then erase those emotional traumas, or we can help her understand. Doctor means teacher. We can help her understand that, the sugar that you're consuming may be causing a problem. Not in her case, of course. Or it could be that maybe she needs to eat more beef in her case, maybe to help stabilize blood sugar. Or it could be that maybe we need to start her on a chromium or a genema or an herb or something. Or just what would really be nice and easy as a simple mid-back adjustment that will help reset her pancreas and her adrenals and her ability to stabilize blood sugar. So all this comes into play and functions and responds to care immediately when we do the right thing. The tenderness in her upper tract would be better and go away virtually. The tenderness in her glute medius here would be significantly less or go away when we apply the appropriate therapies. So we get immediate feedback whether or not we're doing the right thing. It's a beautiful system. So we're often asked what it is that makes Vrzal Chiropractic unique. And really it's the applied kinesiology that makes what we do unique. Lots of people practice applied kinesiology. It is a gift. It is an art that takes place. But the beauty of it is it's an approach that ties in the nutritional aspects, the dietary aspects, the structural components of chiropractic and massage, and even beautiful, highly effective emotional therapies as well. So kind of to put that in a baseball sort of format, we've got the structural foundation where we would address the neurologic issues and the way the spine and the body is functioning. Then we'd have diet that often affects that we would need to address and help you understand that maybe sugar is causing a problem, or a food like that, or a food that you may need to eat to feel and function your very best. It might be toxins that your body's being exposed to and causing your body to dysfunction. Or it could be emotional triggers, emotional stress, the divorce you went through, or the loss of a loved one that is causing your lungs to not function well, for example. So with this applied kinesiology approach and the home run formula, we can address all four areas and figure out your shoulder's hurting because of the grief and the emotions that you have, or your back is hurting because of the structural trauma that you had with that auto accident, or your back continually hurts because the corn that you're eating or the wheat that you're eating potentially is causing those muscles to spasm. So we can put that all together for you to help you know what is causing those chronic aches and pains, as well as relieve the acute initial response to a structural trauma like an auto accident.
Hi, my name is Billy House, and I met Dr. Vrzal at a mountain bike retreat for guys. There are about 40 of us riding bikes up in the beautiful San Bernardino Mountains. And I introduced myself and found out he was a chiropractor, and I told him that I had bone-on-bone hips, but that I had this pain that was related to it and it could go away. And he said, well, that sounds like digestion to me. And I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, well, here, come here. And he gave me 4 pills, and he said, take 2 tonight and take 2 in the morning, and let's see how you feel. And sure enough, in the morning, by breakfast time, the pain was basically gone. It was just amazing. And he offered to give me some more pills and then to take a look at me. So I live down in San Diego, and I figured a drive up here to Mission Viejo is well worth my health. And I've been under treatment maybe once a month. I'll come in ever since October, and it's now February of 2013, and my pains are a whole lot less. They'll swell up every now and then, but then Dr. V will adjust my regimen and I feel a whole lot better. In fact, the one thing that they discovered was I have they thought at first it was a yeast infection, but it's a mold infection from a few years ago. I replaced a moldy deck. I didn't use a respirator, and now I'm getting treated for that, and a lot of my symptoms are calming down because that is getting out of my body. And I knew that I had some sort of infection, but the doctors told me that if I took the pill that normal medicine wanted me to take, it would damage my liver and possibly my kidneys. So I never took any medicine for it. And so it kind of amazed me that they found this through this applied kinesiology without me telling them that I indeed had some sort of a yeast infection. So anyway, it's changing my life, and I'm just growing with this and getting more flexible. I couldn't put my sock on before, and now I can. So just amazing.
How much weight have you lost, Billy?
Oh, yes, and I have lost almost 20 pounds now since October with this regimen. So it's getting expensive because I have to get new.
My name's Jenny Johnson. I've been going to Dr. V for about 9 years, and my whole family has gone to him as well. And we have seen huge life changes in my whole family. We happen to all have the same blood type, so it makes it easy for us to learn about all the different nutrients and things that our body needs. But I struggled with my food for years, and until I met Dr. V, my life has changed drastically. I'm an athlete as well. I'm a marathon runner, and my times have improved greatly since I've been going to him. My body is a lot more efficient and just seems to function so much better now that I have the right nutrition. And I just love everything that he does. I'm very passionate about it. I own an outdoor fitness company called Rough It, and I refer my clients to Dr. V all the time because me and my business partner are very passionate at what he does, and we've seen the results, and it absolutely works. And it seems a little weird because it is different. It's different than Western med, but from my experience, I've again seen a life-changing experience in a lot of my family, friends, obviously myself. So I would highly recommend anyone coming and trying and keeping an open mind and seeing what it's all about.
You're beautiful.